motherfucker! Do it. Do it. Yes. Yes. Sap him one more time. Oh, this poor son of a bitch. And after this, I'll have Matthias Insulatable. Oh! She's went going freeze on his ass. Oh my god. Oh, this is weird. Hey, Yuko. How you doing? You want to go get that hamburger? Take out to eat. We'll stop by McDonald's on our way back. No. Alright, some high quality stuff. How about Wendy's? It's over. There's nothing else I can do. Everything I did was all for nothing. No one's coming back. Out of options. What about Raising Cane's? No matter what I do, I end up with nothing. It doesn't matter anymore. You know, don't tell me you're a KFC kind of girl. Look, if they take the bit and run with it of her being a foodie, I'm doing it too. Yuko came down with Eden syndrome 8 years ago. Because my father was so busy developing Eden, I took his place at Yuko's bedside. No matter how many times I called to him, he wouldn't wake up. So I stopped trying. My father died. It was Miss Ria who tried to cheer me up. You know, the first time I met her, she was sexually harassing a man.
I'm sorry. I just nailed my headset.
Oof. She taught me that there was a way for me to not lose my family. She said I should become Yuko and lead the hackers to protect Eden from protect the Eden my father built. When I was all lost and alone, she gave me a purpose. Chat. Are you guys ready to learn? Boom. Also, Vulcan's here too. He stepped away for a second. What's up, Kazuki? Oh shit, we actually got a decent viewership opening up. Nice. You guys ready to learn about some Sword World? Let me get rid of the where is it? There we go. Also, why is Vulcan? Oh, he's far apart because there was more than one person last stream. We watched Kill la Kill earlier. I've never actually seen Kill la Kill. Just the sauce. Chewy. Look at that. Yeah, let's put Vulcan like right there. There we go. Oh, what? What's up, Doom? How's it hanging? Basically Sailor Moon for adults. Oh. Yeah, we're doing some anime D&D learnings tonight because I think it's finally time I sit down and read the metric shit tons of translated material. And I guess I can kind of give an explanation as to what Sword World is. Clothes use your blood, use the clothes powers. Huh. So, Sword World is... where do we even start with this? The kill looks actually pretty well written. Oh, nice. I might have to check it out, because, I mean... what's her name? The main character. Was it like Kyoko or something? That's apparently a lot of everyone's waifus. Plus there's the meme of "You're my pub champ." Ryoko, that's it. But yeah, so Sword World. Where do I start with this? Because there's different angles I can attack this at. Satsuki is a girl boss. Okay, so who here has seen Record of Lodoss War? Pretty much like the granddaddy of every fantasy anime, and why every elf in an anime ever has like knives for ears. Seriously, you can have them just like, you know, just like scrunch up and just grab them by the ankles and then just wield them like a war pick. But anyways. So that came about because there was a bunch of guys. Well, okay, there was one guy. And he went over to America to study in college. And he bought a bunch of D&D books. 2nd edition, I believe. And he brought them over and he started playing with his buddies. I believe they also had to translate everything as they were playing. Which sounds appropriate. Even for people that can read the fucking books. And so they figured, well, we've got these great adventures. Why don't we just write them and turn them into an anime and shit? And so that's how Record of Lodoss War came to be a thing. So all those who think like Deedlit is waifu material, just remember Deedlit was roleplayed by a guy. So then, that became hugely successful, and everyone wanted to play the game. But here's the problem. The people that ran D&D weren't too keen on people making rule sets for their games. So they had to make legally distinct D&D. And they came up with Sword World. I believe it's around 2.5. Or Miyazaki's the same with Dark Souls. He loves dark western fantasy. Yeah. And so they made Sword World. And despite the fact that it's like one of the 3 granddaddies of tabletop games in Japan, 4, let's say 4 actually. Those being obviously D&D, Pathfinder, Sword World, and funny enough, I think their most popular one in Japan is actually Call of Cthulhu. And so, yeah, they made Sword World. And despite the fact of how popular it is, they don't fucking translate Sword World for anywhere outside of Japan. But luckily, there's a dedicated fan group who has managed to translate a lot. And I'll go ahead and just put a link to the Google Drive that has a bunch of that shit in it. There we go. So you can go look at all this. It's all open source stuff you can all look at. But we're gonna learn some together because I kind of like how the system in this game works. And it works pretty much... How do I it's difficult to explain. So, to start off, every character has major and minor classes. Major classes are obviously like things that are very important, like fighter and wizard. I just realized I'm a fan on. But then there's also minor classes that can give them some flavor. So like, I think it's like Sage gives you bonuses to all knowledge checks. So you could be that super smart wizard pants, or you could be like a monster hunter warrior who's just, you know, he's got the big, heavy, great sword, like guts, but he's also super smart when it comes to monster checks. And you got scout and all sorts of stuff like that. Fencer, or if you want your wizard to be using like a short sword. But yeah, I think... Get ready for this screen change, boyos. There we go. And yeah, you can see Core Rulebook 1. Magic is pretty nutty in Record of Lodoss War. Yeah, I think that's where they kind of changed it a little bit. It's kind of interesting how a lot of the different classes work, but we can get into that later. So yeah, core rulebook 1. There's 3 of them. And I'm gonna scroll through all this because it's your standard, like, what is a tabletop RPG? What is some etiquette for playing a tabletop RPG? And lingo and all that stuff. Today, just go and roll GM authority. And maybe if we actually learn all this, I could sit down and I can fucking write something. Also, fun fact, and I really like this about this game. There are several, like, little adventures you can do playing single player, which I find is a very fascinating angle to tackle. Anyways, let's learn how to make an NPC, or a PC. The protagonist. In the world of Raxia. Easy creation, detailed creation. There are 2 types of PC creation methods in 2.5. Easy creation and detailed creation. Easy creation method allows one to set a PC from a to select a PC from a sample of characters introduced later. Sample characters have most of the character data such as race, ability, scores, class, etc. already created. And a PC can be created simply by adding a few details to it. This method takes less than 10 minutes and is recommended for players new to tabletop RPGs or 2.5. Record is the sword fight between Ashran and Parn. I really need to go back and finish Record of Lotus Wars. I watched a lot of it as a kid. My dad had like the anime box set back in the day. Alright, selection advice. Each sample character has its own characteristics and performs different actions during the game. Okay, well that's branching path. Balance choice. An adventure will only be successful if the various characters utilize their strength and compensate for their weaknesses. If everyone were a human warrior, you would be stuck in situations that require knowledge and magic. Above all, each player would not be able to express his or her individuality. Players should select a character for themselves considering the balance of the whole group. Consider this a guideline selection. More than half of the PC should have the ability to fight in the front line. Tablet Magician, we'll get to that, and a Rune Folk Gunner, we'll get to that later, are characters that cannot be on the front line. So if there are fewer than 3 PCs, only one of them should be in the party. Healer. Characters can be wounded in combat from traps and other situations. Either Dwarf Paladin or Elf Priest Swordsmaster.
Dwarf Paladin.
Dwarf Paladin.
Look,
Which can
all
heal
I'm
wounds.
saying is you gotta have this just fuck me eyes that my Baldur's Gate dwarf has, okay?
Oh, you'll see the fuck me eyes from the dwarf later.
Also, dude, playing a drow in Baldur's Gate is wild. I love just being discriminated against.
It's great.
And also being violently racist. I also killed the fuck out of Alfira in the middle of the night.
There you go. Explore. The ability to set traps, or to search for traps and hidden doors and unlock traps and locks is essential to the adventure. You'll need either a human warrior, see page 24, or lichened boxer, see page 47. Knowledge. With extensive knowledge, you'll need a character that can unravel mysteries and discover the abilities of monsters you encounter. Choose one of the lichened boxer, see page 47, the elf priest swordsmaster, see page 27, or the rune folk gunner, see page 39. Human warrior. Average anime protagonist boy. Alright, this human warrior is armed with a bastard sword and leather armor. Humans are the most numerous and common race in Raxia among adventurers. Humans are common among both men and women of all ages, making them appear everywhere. This character is a warrior with a sword. In battle, they stand in front of the enemy with their sword and use the Power Strike 1 combat feat, which increases... Okay. I think we should not start here. But here's the character sheet for those curious. And we'll unravel a lot of this later.
Oh, that's why my shit was fucking up.
There's the elf priest swords master.
I was wondering why No Man's Sky was fucking up and it had AMD graphics card settings on instead of NVIDIA, which is what I run.
Alrighty, Vulcan. Are you ready for the dwarf fuck me eyes? Not the female dwarf here. Definitely not.
Aww.
It
Okay.
is a wild difference. Ready?
Okay.
Yeah, look at that boy.
Damn. Nah, mine still wins. I swear to God, mine in Baldur's Gate has just been mewing since birth. He's got the fucking jawline of a king, which is very surprising for a dwarf.
And here we got the tabbits, the like little furry rabbit people. All races you can play, by the way, and believe me, there are like a lot more races. And then we got the Rune Folk, which is basically a fancy way of saying magic robot. You know, she's just made with a gun, you know. And then I believe then we got the Nightmares, which is just basically a fancy way of saying tieflings. And we'll get into everything all these races do later. Although, funny thing, even though the picture says human, you could be a tiefling of any race. Alright, you guys ready for the Fox Girls race? The Lycant, who can apparently shapeshift into their werekin form. Okay, are we up the character sheet, put the profile together, yada yada. Hey, we got a nice little background thing here if you just want to like roll your history. Which, I kind of like rolling a random character in this game. It's fun. Okay. Example of creating a character with easy character creation. Okay, we might as well read this. We haven't actually read anything. Since this was Hajime's first time playing with Sword World 2.5, he decided to create a character using easy creation. Hajime chose a human warrior from the sample characters because he liked the illustration. Hajime means beginning. Ah, I see what they did there. For now, he made an enlarged copy of the character sheet. Next, he created a profile for the character. Hajime decided to determine the history by rolling the dice, as any Chad would. He rolled the dice 3 times to get 2, 1, and 6. 1 and 6 in History Table A means you admired certain adventurers. Hajime further tried using the history table. After 2 more series of rolls, the history table he got, I've been bankrupt, and an artist lives or was in your neighborhood. Hajime was confused by lack of context, and the GM advised him, you don't have to use all the histories. So, Hajime, for the time being, set aside history. He also tried to use the why went on an adventure table. The rolls were 2 and 1. You were looking for someone? Oh, you were looking for someone. So, Hajime decided that there was an adventurer he admired, and that he was looking for that person. Hajime thought of a legendary adventurer who had disappeared and whom he admired, and the GM promised to try to think of a way to meet him. Hajime decided not to use the other 2 histories. Finally, the character's name, age, and other details were decided. Hajime named the character Wolf, a male, 16 years old, close to the age of adulthood, 15 years old, for humans, to represent a young man who wants to be one step closer to the one he admires. As for his facial features and body shape, since he had illustrations, and that this is the reason he chose them, he decided to follow them as they are. Hajime's PC Wolf is now complete. All that remains is to wait for the session to begin. How to read character sheets. Okay. Where is one? Okay. Personality. This field is for the PC's name, gender, age, race, background, etc. Name, gender, age should be entered to determined by the player. Race and background are already filled out in easy creation. And then we got ability scores, which is there. There are 6 types of ability scores: dexterity, agility, strength, vitality, intelligence, and spirit. The higher the number, the better the ability. Ability modifiers. The ability modifier is the ability score divided by 6 and rounded down to the nearest whole number. They're used for skill checks. See page 90. Reputation and rank. Here's a column to write the reputation and rank. For more information, see Core Rulebook 2. Shit. Adventure level. This is the field to write down the adventure level of the PC, which is measured to PC strength and is used in some of the skill checks. Experience points, class, standard values, package. Oh, what's this? Actually. This 8? Where's 8? Okay, here we go. This is a column to write the standard value of the skill checks summarized as check packages. Languages, combat feats, other skills. This is a column for writing down the techniques, spell songs, and stunts that you've learned. There's no information on those skills in this rulebook. Core Rulebook 2 and Core Rulebook 3 have these skills. So write them in the column once you have mastered them. Here we go. Alright.
Fuck, it's just a dude with legs.
I too am a dude with legs.
Sorry, playing No Man's Sky, the creature generation is still absolutely fucking weird.
No, it's fine. Feel free to interrupt whenever, because I'm just kind of reading shit.
Don't tell me to interrupt whenever I will, and it will be bad. For all you know, it can be a racial slur in a different language you can't moderate. Oddly specific, because I thought about it earlier.
Gonna pull a Firefly. How do we get past the censorship here in America? Swear in Mandarin.
That would probably work really... I need to learn Chinese.
Alrighty. Monster knowledge. This is the field for writing the standard value of monster knowledge checks and is used to remind the character of a monster. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you right now. I know a tad Mandarin, says Lexicon. Okay, so here's what monster knowledge is. Every monster has a weakness to them, like they might be vulnerable like fire or piercing or something like that. And when combat starts, everyone rolls a monster knowledge check. And sometimes, you know, you just roll a flat d20. And if you meet the threshold, you unlock the weakness. And maybe it's just some more information about the monster. Initiative, movement, base accuracy. This one's fucky. Left frame displays the warrior type classes. Okay, where is that? Okay. Field is used to write the basic information, basic data for weapon attacks. This value is used to determine the accuracy and extra damage for each weapon. Left frame displays the warrior type classes to be used, which should be checked, and their level should be written. In the right box of the character's dexterity and strength modifiers are combined in the base accuracy and extra damage accordingly. Weapon data. This is weapon info. Base evasion. This column is used for writing PC's base evasion. Based upon this value, the PC's total evasion is calculated. I'm just going to assume that's basically like AC. Accessories. Total evasion, total defense is probably the accumulation of everything. Wizard type classes and magic power. Here we go. This field is for writing the magic power for the wizard type classes that the PC has mastered and the name of the corresponding wizard type classes. Magic power is used in spellcasting checks and as extra damage for spells that deal damage. Hit points and mana points, fortitude and will, money, items, power table. Here we go. This is kind of the interesting thing, because I don't believe Sword World uses a d20, because I think the thing that they tried to like emulate was, well, everyone uses 6-sided dice more than they use a fucking d20. So we'll just make something that uses d6s. These tables are used to determine the damage for weapons, spells, etc. used by the PC. The power tables are used in various situations in the game. 5 increments up to 50 are pre-written, and they're used frequently. Blank row can be filled and used according to the PC. So like, let's actually go look at that. Oh good lord, it's tiny. So yeah. Can't read what that says up there, but I'm sure we'll get to that later. Detailed creation, here we go. After playing the game a few times and getting used to the rules, you can try the detailed creation mode, which allows you to create your own character. Using detailed creation, you choose your own race, roll the dice to determine ability scores, and decide on the classes and combat feats that you want to learn. This will allow you to enjoy your adventures with a unique, one-of-a-kind character. And there are 9 steps. Step 1. Prepare a blank character sheet. Which is pretty self-explanatory. 2. Select race and background. The world of Sword War 2.5 is full of different races to explore. There are 7 races to choose from in this book. Humans, elves, dwarves, tabbits, runefolk, nightmares, and lichens. Lichens isn't capitalized like the others.
Unfortunate.
Each with different appearance, physique, and abilities. Please choose your favorite race based on the description and illustrations of each race that were presented in the easy creation. After choosing a race, you can select a background with the respective background chart. This can be determined by rolling a dice or by selecting a background, or just whatever that word is. Arbitrarily? After picking a background, you can acquire a starting class at level 1. These classes will have been acquired from your background. If there is an OR on the table, choose one of the classes to learn. If there is an AND on the table, learn all those classes. Once your background is chosen, you'll receive your base ability scores, skill, body, mind. So I'm guessing that's agility, dexterity, strength, vitality, and then intelligence and spirit, without a significant reason. Or not based on rules. Thank you. These are the basis for your final ability scores, okay? Human. Humans are the most abundant humanoid race on Raxia, with the largest number of adventurers. They look just like humans in the real world. It's said they're apt in all classes and have the power to shape their own destiny. They are considered adults at 15 and have a lifespan of approximately 100 years. Damn, what's their healthcare? Humans can speak, read, and write Trade Common and a regional dialect. There are no class restrictions. Racial abilities. Swords, Grace, Change Fate. Once per day, on any skill check, damage calculation, or loot determination, switch the face on the rolled 2D to the opposite side. Just under. A die roll of 1 becomes 6, 2 becomes 5, 3 becomes 4. Conversely, this might also switch the result to a lower number. But both dice must be switched. The player cannot switch only one dice. For example, if a roll results in a 1 and a 4 on the 2d6, and the player uses Swords of Grace Change Fate, the dice becomes 6 and 3. If an automatic failure, double 1, occurs, it can be changed to an automatic success. 2 6s. And then we got some backgrounds here. Got Magtech, Magician, Agile Warrior. We'll get to what all these classes mean later. This book is kind of jumping all over the place a little bit. Elf. Elves are taller than humans, a race which is beautifully elegant appearance, with a beautifully elegant appearance and affinity for magic. They prefer to live on the shore and in the areas surrounding freshwater lakes and rivers. Oh, that's right, because it's like, what are the 3 elements? It's like fire, water, and earth. I think humans are fire, elves are water, and dwarves are earth. Or if maybe elves or humans and dwarves are switched. We'll see. While they love nature and calmly enjoy their long lives, elves who leave on journeys out of a strong sense of curiosity are not uncommon. They are slenderer than humans and tend to be fairly intelligent, which makes them well suited to become spellcasters. They are also quick and dexterous, making them excellent rangers, fencers, and marksmen. They are considered adults at the age of 15 and have a maximum lifespan of about 500 years.
Goddamn.
Yeah, elves, man. So let's see, if I have a kid with an elf, then what, that's like probably like what, 4 generations they can watch over?
Like, bro, you're just fucked at that point. Like, you're just not even part of the equation either.
Yeah. Well, you know, they'll watch over my kids. You know, great grandma. Gonna teach them magic shit. Most become adventurous as adults and begin to age slowly around 300 years of age. They've been speaking Elvish and Trade Common. Racial abilities, dark vision. Elves can see in darkness as well as they can during the daytime. So, okay, so there's not even like a range like Pathfinder. They can just see in the dark. That's kind of cool. Swords grace gentle water. Elves can move freely underwater as on land. As someone that's played Skull and Shackles, this is a fucking boon. Also, while underwater, they can hold their breath for 1 hour. Outside of water, their breathing rate is the same as other races. After spending 1 hour submerged, they must spend 1 minute breathing normally. Elves can also speak normally while underwater. They also gain a +2 to fortitude and willpower against poison and disease type effects. God, that's gotta be horrifying. Like that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean with like Davy Jones' pirates just walking under the sea. Dwarves. Though shorter than humans, dwarves are a hardy and able body race. Most male dwarves are stout and grow thick beards. Female dwarves do not have beards. I have to specify this. It remains similar in appearance to young human girls as they reach adulthood, aging little over their remaining lives. Both sexes tend to have metallic hair colors. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Huh.
Both have their body and both their body and head hair. Good to know.
Love the specification.
Yeah. Sometimes even more gaudy primary colors can be seen, such as bright pinks and greens. Interesting. While many of them are overly stubborn, they are also known to heavily cherish their companions. It is characteristic of them to train themselves to become stronger, making them excellent warriors. They are also famous for creating superior arms and other crafts. In many cases, they live in cities hewn out from the insides of mountains, though many of them are also intermingle with humans in search for opportunities to fight against barbarous, aka demon monsters, and become mercenaries or adventurers. Which, by the way, there's also a rule set for like if you want to become so it was one like Basilisk is basically kind of like Medusa from Fate, where they're just basically humans but they're blindfolded and they can turn things to stone. There is a rule book where you can play as one of these monstrous races if you ever want to do like an evil one. Okay, let's see.
Hawk, I just did a thing and I don't know if it's good or bad.
What did you do?
So in Baldur's Gate 3, when I play with my keyboard and mouse, my average FPS is about 100, 140, because I played on max settings because I have that luxury. Decided to plug in my fucking controller for it. At 4K, I'm getting 1000 FPS.
Huh.
So playing at a higher resolution is just better. I just don't like the controller controls at all. That's the only bad trade-off.
You know, I played a little bit of Baldur's Gate on PC, and it's kind of crazy.
When have you played it? Oh, are you talking the old Baldur's Gate?
No, I'm talking, well, both actually. But yeah, Baldur's Gate 3.
When did you play it?
My dad bought it a while back. We just haven't played it together.
Oh, okay.
Because there's really no couch co-op, and that's kind of a pain.
Ah, the next patch, though. The next patch is bringing it.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying for months, Vulcan. It'll come this time, I swear!
But they actually showed gameplay this time. It's Larian. I have faith in them. This is the only developer I actually will believe what they tell me.
Yeah, and that's real. They're not making any DLC, and they said after they like fix it and shit, they're moving on. Which I respect the hell out of them for.
As they constantly add more and more new content and have plans to keep adding new content.
Yeah.
Just not DLC, which I love. It's just free updates. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
like-
you want a new race? Fuck it, here you go.
Yeah, like, let's be real. No one's gonna finish. Most people aren't gonna finish Baldur's Gate 3. You really want fucking DLC?
I say as I've gotten to Act 3 once in my 200 hours of gameplay.
Yeah. Alright.
I feel lie, this monk, I'm finishing the game with this monk. I swear to God.
Monks are
Dark
badass.
Urge is really fun. I'll have to show you my character at some point after stream ends.
Yeah. So dwarves reach adulthood at 15, and their lifespan is approximately 200 years. They usually become adventurers
yeah.
when they become adults, and continue to temper themselves until their death. They speak Dwarven and Trade Common. No class restrictions. They get dark vision, which makes sense, they live underground. Okay, yeah, so they are the fire race. Swords grace flame body. Dwarves do not take damage from fire-based attacks, physical or magical. Unless they wish to do so, they will not be affected by fire or have anything on them set on fire. So the dwarf can carry all the bombs they want and they won't explode. No, I think they're specifying specifically fire-based attacks. Because that'd be funny if he's like, alright, just oil me up, set me on fire, and I'll just run in there. So it's probably
That's
just
why
fire attacks.
I found out why I got 1000 FPS.
What is that?
They turned off my anti-aliasing, which is just a smoothing thing.
Hmm.
And I had to turn it back on because Gale's beard looked like a fucking polygon.
Oh.
Alright, Hawk,
Yeah.
help me out here. This
Sure.
playthrough, who do I romance? I've done Shadowheart, I've done Lae'zel. Karlach is up there, she's like #1 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But as Dark Urge, it's kind of tempting to do something else, like Gale or Astarion almost. Will never ever be part. No, Halsin's already. I can already do that with my fucking druid. I literally
I know
have
why
the
you
option
picked
to.
Elson. We all know why you
Yeah.
picked Elson.
Yeah, I actually got to see that cutscene. It was fucking wild.
Okay,
It was
so
funny as fuck.
my two options would be Karlach, because there's some similarities between her origins and the Dark Urge, if you think about it. I mean, we talked about that before, like, you know, killing not because you want to, but because you're kind of forced to. And she is super fucking cool with you being Dark Urge, and she wants to help you all she can. But she's been there.
Yeah.
Or two, from what I understand, Astarion is the murder hobo companion. And I mean, he's also technically a monster, so there's probably something there.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna do a redeeming Dark Urge because I'm playing a monk, so it might as fucking well, right?
Mhm.
And I know Karlach would be the safe option. That's like the really wholesome, like we're both kind of fucked option.
Yeah, like you go to
I
strangle
literally
her.
die.
Yeah. But there's like a point where I think you're like going to go strangle her, and she's like, "It's okay, babe. I understand. I want to help you." You know, rather than "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why would you murder me?"
Well, for the most part, they're all relatively too okay with it.
Yeah, I
Like
mean, they
Gale's
kind of
just
have
like,
to be.
oh, you're just fucking rabid. That's all he has to say about it.
You're just a little extra spicy, darling. Ah. Anyways, I guess speaking of house and who wants to learn about the little furries? Actually, hold on, let me get a picture. Do we have a Tabbit picture on here? No, we do not. Hold on.
Damn.
Let's see here. Book, rap.
Are you fucking...
I'm not gonna lie. The Tabbits just kind of remind me of just pick a rabbit from like a children's book. You said there are nightmares, all the races. So a nightmare Tabbit might be viable. It might be. I have to check. I know definitely human, elf, and dwarf. But there's also drawbacks to being one of them. But that'd be funny, being a being a demon Tabbit. Tabbits are a species about 1 meter tall, upright, and rabbit-like in appearance. Their body hair varies in color, and they have paw pads on their hands and feet. They're also still able to use tools and wear shoes just like humans. They love to gather knowledge and devote themselves to the search for truth. They have a great talent for the arcane, being capable of wielding almost any kind of magic. However, they are for some reason unable to learn divine magic. Interesting. Many Tabbit believe this is because they are the descendants of gods who were defeated and cursed in the War of the Gods. The veracity of these claims, however, are unknown. Oh, look at these cute little rabbit people! We are the descendants of a dead god cursed by your gods, mortal. Oh. Although they show great talent in magic, they move slowly and clumsily due to their short arms and legs. They consider adults at the age of 10, and their lifespan is about 50 years. Most become adventurers at the premature age of 5 and remain adventurers until their deaths. Tabbits can read Ancient Celestial and can speak, read, and write Trade Common. Restricted classes, Priest. Racial abilities, Sixth Sense. The ability to sense danger. Tabbits may make danger sense checks using their adventure level plus intelligence modifier. Runefolk. Runefolk were not born naturally, but arose 2,000 years ago as a race of constructs that were created by the Magitech civilization. Fundamentally similar to the shape of humans, they also must eat and sleep like them as well. The male models mostly have larger builds, while most of the female models are smaller in stature. They can still be differentiated from humans, however, as their necks are always covered by a hardened material. They usually have similar features somewhere else on their body, for example, their ears, parts of their face, bodies, or arms might also be made of this hardened material. So they're basically like that robot chick from Persona 3. Atlas or something. I don't know. I only ever played 4, and I don't have the constitution to play 5. Runefolk excel in terms of physical strength and dexterity, which makes them excellent warriors and archers. They cannot hear the voices of the gods, however, so there are no priests amongst them. But due to their origins, it is common for them to become artificers. Their lifespan is measured by their operational time. They can operate stably for about 50 years, but thereafter will suddenly cease to operate, aka die. From the time they are born to the time they die, their appearance does not change, and there are some who become adventurers immediately after they are born. They can speak, read, and write Magitech and Trade Common. Cannot be priests. They get Dark Vision and HP Conversion. In exchange for reducing their HP by any amount, the Runefolk can recover that same number of MP. The conversion requires a major action, 10 seconds, and can be used only once per day. Blood magic! Okay, here we go. Here are the nightmares. Nightmares are mutations born of humans, elves, and dwarves. Okay, so just exclusively these three. They are born with a single soul scar. See page 319 about soul scars. which causes them to have a small horn or two on their heads and markings on their body. Though their skin is extremely pale, their appearance is not so different from that of a human. Because of their soul scars, they tend to be socially ostracized as abominations. However, they make excellent adventurers and have a high aptitude to be magical warriors. Therefore, they are often welcomed into the adventuring life without discrimination. Nightmares are treated as adults at the age of 15, the maximum lifespan is not known, and there's no record of death due to old age. Many become adventurers before reaching adulthood, and most remain adventurers until death. Nightmare PCs have the same starting languages as the race they were born to. Alright, racial abilities. Oh, I should probably also explain what soul scars are. So, there is a mechanic and a lore reason as to why there's revival spells. And that is because when you get pulled back with a revive spell, you get a soul scar, which is... it's kind of like an unholy mutation a little bit. And once you get so many soul scars, if you keep coming back, there's a chance you'll just turn into a monster, and then there'll be some other adventurous problem. So that's just a cool thing. Anyways, alternate form. Any number of times per day with a minor action as well, or in combat preparation, see page 121. The nightmare can instantly change into their unique alternate form. Their horns become enlarged and their skin turns pale white. In this state, they receive no penalty for using magic while wearing armor, see page 201. And can cast spells without using the acquired verbal or semantic components. Implements and others are still required. It takes a major action to revert to their humanoid form once transformed. Yeah, kind of like going hollow. If you do it so many times, you just turn into a monster. Which, that would be a really cool idea if we all decided to run a game where we all were like the monstrous races. Where you kind of forgot that you were humans, or that you were like heroes once. And you just come back as monsters because you died so many times. Weakness. Here's the downsides. Nightmares take plus 2 extra points of calculated damage from silver weapons and from certain element attacks determined by their racial origins. For humans, it's earth vulnerability, elves is water ice vulnerability, and dwarf is fire vulnerability. So you take extra damage depending on what race you pick. Lycan. Singular Lycant, pronounced Lycant. Whatever. I'm saying Lycant. Very strong PC. 2 campaigns. 1's Dark Souls. 2 is the aftermath of the PC going hollow. Yep. Anyways, Lycant are a humanoid race indigenous to the Alfram continent, with tails and ears covered with abundant fur. They have the ability to change their heads into the form of carnivorous beasts, and they are mainly good at living and working outdoors. Males are slightly larger than humans, but females are not much different from humans. They are slender but muscular and agile. They are also highly intelligent and good at spotting traps, making them excellent warriors, scouts, and hunters. While taking on the form of a beast can enhance their muscular strength, it also makes them unable to use most forms of magic, as they can only make distinct roaring noises. Because of their appearance and characteristics, they are once confused with lycanthropes, werewolves, and persecuted. And since then, they have developed a strong hostility towards them. They're considered adults at the age of 15 and have about a lifespan of 150 years. Lycans can speak, read, and write Lycant and Trade Tongue. Yeah, so that's kind of like Wild Shape. They can't really cast spells while they're on their beast form. Dark Vision Beast Form. Lycans can see in the dark as well as they can during the daytime. However, this effect is only obtainable when transformed into their beast form. Beast form. Lycan's head takes the form of a beast, and all the muscles in his or her body are strengthened. Turning into or changing back to the beast form takes a major action 10 seconds. See page 139. When in beast form, the strength modifier is increased by +2. At the same time, no languages other than Lycant can be spoken, nor can any true speech magic, spiritualism magic, or magic spells be used. Divine magic, however, can be used. Okay. And I'll also say this, later down the line, there is a book with more expansive races, and you can choose to kind of be like, I mean, obviously they kind of paint the Lycans here as like tall guys, but they can also be kind of like the small races, so like the size of a halfling. But those are generally more like herbivore animals, which I kind of like that dimorphism. Alright, determining ability scores. After the background is determined, roll for the ability scores A through F according to the table below. Hold on.
Shit, I don't even have to like use like the illithid wisdom on fucking the goblins. Being a drow, they just assume I'm evil. Racism, guys.
Hell yeah, we're playing hard mode.
I'm giving the thumbs up that you normally see and fucking gifts and shit.
Okay, and then this is just rolling on the table of your race. A is dexterity, B is agility, C strength, D vitality, E intelligence, and then F for spirit. And then here's the modifiers again. It's whatever your number is divided by 6, rounded down.
You know, Hawk, I'll let you decide who in my party should be the bard this playthrough, because I always have one.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. So you're like a shadow monk.
Yeah, I'm a so I'm a front. Yeah, I'm a frontliner. I'm a fucking monk.
Yeah, you're a monk. You better be a frontliner unless you're like key arrowing people.
Yeah, so we got me as a frontliner. I'm probably gonna keep Karlak most of the time because she's really good. Because she can be like that weird hybrid. Gale, I'm gonna keep because I like having a a designated caster.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Shadowheart and Karlak are the two that can kind of be interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
Having a cleric overall is good for like healing because no one's a healer.
Mm-hmm.
That leaves Astarion, Will, and Lae'zel. Lae'zel's gonna stay a fighter because when I bring her back into the party as an alternate, it'll be good. I think Astarion might be pretty good at it.
Yeah, Astarion does give me like party bard vibes.
And that'd be really good if I replaced Karlak and keep Shadowheart in, because then I can have my healer, and I can have the support, and he can also, be given dual fucking hand bows because I'm gonna do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, human nightmare magic swordsman. Hell yeah. Alright, here we go. Example, determining race, background, and ability scores. Saki, an experienced tabletop RPG player, who watching Hajime's easy creation from the side, determined to create her own unique character with detailed creation. Saki wanted to play a magician, so she looked for a suitable race and determined on the Tabbit. She chose Tabbits because they're a very smart race, perfect for a magician. The cute illustration on the sample character was also a key point. Based on the image, she also chose the name Pete ahead of time.
Oh, you cut out. Your internet's kind of going funky.
Oh. Yeah? Oh god. No.
Yeah, your everything cut out for a second.
Oh god. Anyways, she chose the name Pete. The next step is to determine on the background. Saki decided to decide by rolling 2d6 on the background table. Pete the rabbit, hell yeah! We got Wolf the human and Pete the rabbit. I'm sorry, Wolf the male human fighter and Pete the rabbit.
Don't talk shit about male human fighters.
No, I'm with there.
It's just like the most vanilla, but fuck it, we ball.
No, I'm with you. I'm up there with the male human fighter. It's just, it's such a vanilla choice that I could totally see one being named Pete. They could swap names. Anyways, since there's all 7, she was born as a magician and has the sorcerer class. On the Blake character sheet, she wrote Tablet and Sorcerer in the race and background fields. The feats out the wazoo, yeah. Everyone always makes fun of the fighter, but the fighter can be whatever they want.
Dude, the extra feat at level 6 in this game just... Oh, I fucking hit a trap. But dude, it's so fucking nice.
Mm-hmm. You know, and also the action surge in D&D is like, oh, you might think like, oh, you only hit twice. Well, you know, when they're swinging a giant great axe, you know, 2 is a big number. Anyways, on the blank sheet, she wrote Tablet, yada yada. Next, she wrote the numbers 5, 7, and 10 in the basic ability columns for skill, body, and mind. Yeah, fighters get a feat every level.
Man, that +2 ability score every time. Have the strength of a god by level fucking 8.
You just go to hug Karlak and embrace for the romance scene, just snap her back in half.
Unironically, what level of like what ability score ends up being like divine? It's got to be like above 20 or 20 and above.
Yeah, because 10 is like base average person.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I know Cthulhu's got it up in like near around 40 or so. Well, they're also level 40, so. Yeah, okay.
You know what? We're gonna roll a dice for this, Hawk.
Okay.
I'll do it so you're good.
Mhm.
1 will be romancing Karlak, and 2 will be Gale. The dice has spoken.
And what does it say?
It says 1, like any good god-respecting dice would.
Even the dice know. It's still not gonna stop Gale from mind fucking you.
I just like his personality. He's like that weird, like, bro that can go either way. Like, that's the best way I can put it. Romance interest or homie?
You know, guy understands you gotta go get the girls, but you know, if you're feeling extra lonely, you know, he's not afraid to tell you low key every once in a while.
I mean, I did murder a bard in front of him, so.
If he helped you bury it, then that's a homie. Alright, this is also another thing here is sorcerer and added sorcerer 1 to the class section below that and recorded 2,000 points in the experience column. You don't just level up like you do in like D&D and Pathfinder. What you end up doing is you get experience points and you spend those on a class level. And obviously the higher you get up in class levels, the more XP it costs. So your XP is basically currency, more than just a milestone. Once the background was determined, the next step was to determine the ability scores. She rolled the corresponding number of dice in the 6 columns from A to F. After the base ability scores and recorded the results. But taking the first level in a class is cheaper. I believe so. But also your class level is whatever your highest level in a class is. So you can take a bunch of shit, but at the same time you're gonna be much weaker. Oh, that's a good stretch. Comparing them, Saki chose the second set. So, let's see here. Okay, so that was dexterity, agility, strength, vitality. Okay, so that's their intelligence, and then that's their spirit. Yeah, we'll probably get some classification later. Because we haven't even like gotten to the point of like spending XP. Comparing them, Saki chose the second set. First one is high in general, but the lowest spirit, and she was concerned about MP, which is important for a magician. Yes, so the willpower is also your like ability to mentally resist things is also what fuels your amount you can cast per day. And low vitality, which is also a concern. Although ABC are good scores, dexterity, agility, and strength calculated from it are not so important for spells. In conclusion, she chose the second one, which has a so-so intelligence and excellent spirit. Saki wrote this in the corresponding column on the character sheet and calculated ability scores. Pete's ability score is 8 for dexterity, 7 for agility, 11 for strength, that's kind of strong for a little rabbit dude, 13 for vitality, 22 for intelligence, and 21 for spirit. Although his physical ability is a little low, his ability scores are perfect for magic. Finally, the ability modifiers were calculated. The ability scores were divided by 6 and rounded down to the nearest total number. He got a dexterity modifier of 1, agility modifier of 1, strength modifier of 1, vitality modifier of 2, intelligence modifier of 3, and a spirit modifier of 3. Class acquisition. Here we go. Now you should determine the classes, see page 86, that your character has acquired. Once the race and background are determined, the initial experience points can be spent to learn new classes or to develop existing class. Referring to class descriptions 86, select the appropriate classes for the character. Note that some classes cannot be acquired depending on the race. There are 2 types of classes, major classes and minor classes. Each type has a different experience track of XP needed for each level. So the initial experience points cost table for major classes is 1,000, and then 2 levels in it is another 1,000. Or is that just 1,000 both levels? Anyways. And then minor classes 500, then goes to 1,000 at second level. 1,000 points major class or 500 points minor class are required to acquire one new level. To reach second level in a class where you are already first level, you will need 1,000 points regardless of the type. Wait, what was that? To reach second level in a class where you're already first level, you will need 1,000 points. To learn 2 levels of a class you are not mastered yet, it's 2,000 points for major class or 1,500 points for minor class. Okay. There is no limit to how many classes can be learned, except for the limit imposed by experience points. Also, some experience points can be left over and used for future growth. See page 188. At the time of character creation, no class level can be higher than 2. Point: Class Acquisition Guide. It is a good practice to take 2 levels in a warrior type or wizard type class, plus 1 level in other type class. If the warrior type class is fencer or marksman, it is recommended to raise the other type class to second level as well. Other combinations are also possible, but it's not recommended to create a character with only other type classes. And we'll get to that in a minute. Language acquisition. Language is key in exchange of ideas, and Rexia is no different. Characters who know the same language are able to communicate with one another far more easily than characters who don't. As a PC, you learn how to speak and write the common trade language at character creation. In addition, they also acquire languages to their own race or wizard-type class as they have acquired. The languages required through race or wizard-type classes can either be spoken or written. If a language is only spoken or only written, that is the extent in which it can be acquired. So if there's a dead language that they find written in like hieroglyphs, then, I mean, obviously you can only write it, right? That's what they're saying. Or if there's one that has no written language, but people are speaking it, I mean, obviously you can't read it. Characters who acquire the Sage class can learn either speaking or writing one language per level. In that case, please choose your favorite language from the list of languages on the next page. There's some there. Sorcerers and conjurers get Arcana. That's pretty much magic language. And Magitech is its own language as well. We got Elvish, Giantess, Trade Common, Ancient Celestial, Regional Dialect. Drakish, which seems to be Drakes, Ogres, and Quelpalas, whatever that is. Dwarvish, Barbaric, which is, again, the Barbados, kind of like Monster Demons. Daemonic, Magitech, Arcana, Yoma, for Goblins, Hoodlings, and Bolgs. Lycant, and other. Okay, what is this? Ancient Celestial has been a lost language of the first civilization that once flourished in Raxia. Arcana is used in true speech magic and spiritualism spell chants, and Magitech is used to activate magispheres. Yoma is a Japanese word. Dialect Drakish, here we go. Drakish is also called the Upper Barbarous language because it is acquired and used by many of the ruling Barbarous class. Yoma, on the other hand, is a language of the lower group of Barbarous. Barbaric is an artificial language supposedly created by Drake, which is just like dragon guys. It is formed from very short words with very direct meanings, such as kill them, hungry, etc. Roughly Strophe magic or strange demon. Oh yeah, fun fact, there is also later in some of the books a demon summoning class. But boy howdy, let me tell you, that fucking flow chart of being able to seal the demon and not have it fuck up and kill your party is mighty. Oh, the strange magic or strange demon, huh. Examples of selecting class and language acquisition. Saki sent the experience points of Pete, who has become a magician, to acquire additional classes. So she increased the level of the sorcerer class he learned from his background. Saki spent 1,000 points on Pete to raise his sorcerer level from first level to second. She still has 1,000 experience points left, so Saki learned one level in Sage, where she can take advantage of her high intelligence by spending another 500 points. She still has 500 experience points left, but decided not to take any other classes, and it will carry them over to the next level. She added Sage 1 to the class field, and has also added Elven language speaking because of the Sage class.
This is too many numbers on a screen for me. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, dog. I just checked your fucking stream in a while.
Yeah, that's why we're here. We're here to learn. Welcome to being a GM where you have to learn all the rules.
Learning helicopter everything, like the avionics, the physics, all of it. It is easier than reading this.
By the way, By the way, Vulcan, this is book 1 of 3. Anyways, when creating a character, you should choose only one of the combat feats from the list below to learn. For details on each combat feat, please refer to the respective data on page 180. In addition, a character that has mastered the Grappler class automatically acquires Chain Attack combat feat. We're still on part 1, yeah. Get dodged, yada yada. Well, we'll get to these later, because this... Us trying to learn all the feats is wild.
My sanity is slowly slipping.
Purchasing equipment! The character has 1,200 gold at the start of creation. Use this money to equip your character with equipment. The GM should decide whether or not to allow the borrowing or lending of money between PCs. I don't see why not. You're free to keep a part of the money without spending it all. The initial money will not be enough for you to buy everything. Prioritize the items you think you'll need and purchase the rest by completing successful adventures and earning rewards. Okay, I think we all know how to buy items. So let me just skim through this real fast. Yeah, this is straight up just buying items. Okay. Calculation of the values. Here we go. Once the above steps have been completed, the character data is almost complete. The remaining work is to check and calculate the necessary data and filled in the character sheet. Calculated values will help speed up the game. See how to read character sheet on page 56, which we passed already, to see where to put each of them. Adventure level. The highest level of the character's learned classes and is the adventure level. In this case of a character just created, this is 1 or 2. Fortitude and willpower. These two values are used in many situations in game and for death checks. Fortitude is adventure level plus vitality modifier, and willpower is adventure level plus spirit modifier. HP and MP. The character's starting HP and MP are determined as follows. HP is vitality plus adventure level times 3, and spirit, or MP, is spirit plus total levels of all magical classes plus 3. Standard values of check packages. See page 114. Calculate and fill in the standard values for the technique check packages, movement check packages, observation check packages, knowledge check packages. Okay. Oh, here we go. Monster knowledge and initiative. This is where taking points in Sage as a fighter could come in handy. Monster knowledge check, see page 106. For fuck's sake. Never mind. Movement. This is the number that determines how far in meters a character can move in 10 seconds, 1 round. See page 125. And is based on the character's agility. And the full move column, multiply the movement agility by 3. You can use movement enhancements to mark any changes in movement due to combat feats, items, etc. Weapon data, armor data, magic power, necessary data. I'm not reading that. Wait, actually, should I? Actually, yeah, we should read this.
Oh boy, I've got my favorite weapon now, the returning pike.
Hell yeah.
Karlak is now a fucking machine gun. Dude, my favorite thing is when it misses, it'll still do crush damage. So it still does, like, 2d8s of damage.
Change the music here, something a bit more mellow. Alrighty. Pete is getting close to completion. First, Saki checked the adventure level, which is the highest of the class levels. Pete has Sorcerer 2 and Sage 1, so his adventure level is 2. Saki wrote 2 in the adventure level column. Next are Fortitude and Willpower. Fortitude and Willpower are calculated by, I already said those. Pete's Vitality is modifier is 2. So Fortitude is 2, which is the adventure level, plus 2, the Vitality bonus, for 4. Similarly, Willpower is calculated as 2 plus 3 for 5. Therefore, there is a space for each of these on the right side of the character sheet. Next determines HP. HP is Vitality plus adventure level times 3, so 13 plus 6 for 19. While MP is Spirit plus total levels of all magical classes times 3. Pete has only 2 levels of Sorcerer, the Sorcerer class, and Wizard type classes. So his NP is 21 plus 6 for 27. Saki filled in each value on the right sheet. Check the standard values of the check packages, which involves the Scout, Ranger, and Sage classes. Pete has not mastered either the Scout class or the Ranger class. So she left the Technique, Movement, and Observation packages blank. On the other hand, since he had a Sage class, she wrote in the Knowledge check package, level of the Sage class 1, and the Knowledge and the Intelligence modifier 3, respectively, and the sum of the two 4 as standard value. Fifth was the Monster Knowledge check and Initiative checks. Monster Knowledge is using the Sage class 1 level. and the intelligence modifier 3 for a total of 4. Intelligence check was left blank for Pete, who does not have the scout class. Oh, this is also a thing I'll get into because I think it's interesting now that we brought up initiative. Hold on. The parties and the entire party's initiative is whoever rolls highest on initiative. One new file on Etrian Odyssey. Yes. And so we think, well, if everyone shares the same initiative, then how does this work in combat? Simple. The party goes first, and then... So let's say, like, someone in the party rolls the highest and they beat out the highest on the enemy team. Party goes first, and then the enemies go first. Now then you'll think to yourself, well, if the entire party's going first, how does everyone organize? It's whenever you guys want to take your turn in that time. So for example, like, let's say, like, the wizard wants to cast Fireball in this narrow passage. And so it's like, okay, warrior, you go first. Get out of the way. Like, you swing and then get out of the way, and then I'll chuck Fireball. Or here's another one. There is a bard class essentially later, and their mechanics are their songs affect everybody all the time while they're active. So, like, how did they explain it? So, on turn 1, they'll go first and start playing like their attack. No, they'll go last on turn 1 and start playing like an attack debuff song. And then the enemies get the attack debuff because then it's their turn. And then when the party's turn comes around the second time, the bard goes first and stops playing. So they were able to play their debuff that affected everybody that was attacking without having to hinder their party. So I like it because it lets everyone, like, think a bit more tactically without having to worry about, like, fuck, they're in the way. Because then it could just be like, hey, could you move? Yeah, sure. Alright, and here's another thing. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to actually ask your chat for some feedback for this.
Mm-hmm.
So, Baldur's Gate 3, don't know how much you all know about it, but I'm currently at the little goblin fortress in Act 1. Do I just straight up massacre them? Or do I actually try to interact with some of them before I do? Because I am playing a drow, so it kind of gives me some leeway over them, I should say. And I'm playing a Dark Urge Origin, if that matters.
Which means he is psychologically a murder hobo. Keep them as pets.
Evil. So we have... we have one for just evil.
You just pick one like the cute goblin girl stuff. I hope you like cat food. You're coming home with me.
I still kill Minthara, but I just enslave and take her place.
They're a bunch of dumb goblins. They can't tell one drow elf bitch from another.
Really fucking can't.
No, why
I
would
talked
they?
to the trader. He thought I was fucking Minthara. I'm like, damn. Like, I'm playing a Seldarine drow. I'm not the evil one. But
They don't
everyone
know
still
what the
assumes...
fuck that is.
I know, dude. I did some reading on D&D lore today, so I was like, wait, no one fucking knows the difference. This is weird. No, it's just a civil war.
Yeah.
It's literally just that. They don't go to the surface. Ever.
Yeah, no, there's so many people that want to play Good Alliance. I said, fuck it, we gotta make a god for the outlet.
Like, it's literally, they still do not know. So they just assume I'm evil, which, I mean, I am, but that's besides the point.
The lizard wizard, yes.
The owlbear cub! I found him, he's mine.
You would kill him.
No, the owlbear is mine. He is my friend. Dude, people I don't care about. I can cap a motherfucker and not care. An animal, though...
Especially when you can talk to them, then it gets kind of fucked up.
Well, I can't talk to him. I'm not a druid. Oh, wait, no, I have a potion animal speaking. Never mind.
And if you just learn the spell, then you can just use it whenever.
But I'm a monk hawk that removes the immersion.
With Vulcan, you have other companions.
I don't. Karlak was the only one that could have learned to talk or speak animal. And then I just made her a berserker instead of a bear heart.
Yeah. I guess speaking of animals, here's another weird thing about Sword World that would probably take some getting used to for D&D players. You might have noticed in the ability scores there was no charisma stat. So you might think, well, how do I persuade somebody? You make a good argument at the table, and if it makes sense, it makes sense. So, you know, it's like, you know, let's say like a Baron's a horn dog, right? And the elven rogue is like, gets caught, like, what the fuck are you doing here? And it's like, the Lord said he wanted to speak with me, sir. Okay, I see. He's doing his horn dog shit again. Okay, yeah, you're fine. I won't say anything. Oh, if there's actually an Etrian Aussie character from Canada. Damn Canadians. It's like Dragon Quest, right? Where it's just like the first game is just a map of the actual like our Earth. Which props to them for that. Specifically from Ontario. That's funny. That's not the because I saw like a little bit of like the cutscenes for like when they remade Etrian Aussie 1. It's not the bitch with the gun, is it? Kind of just woke up in like a sleeper pod. Anyways. No? Okay, someone different then. Interesting. Next to that was movement. Pete's agility is 7. She wrote that in the agility and movement columns and tripled it for 21. In the full move column, to be honest, Pete is pretty slow. She does mention maple syrup. Of course. Oh yeah, you know, I should chug maple syrup all the time on my moose, eh? You guys going on an adventure? Shut the fuck up. Okay, well, in defense, one of my Pathfinder players straight up had a map to Cuba. Next is the weapon data. Pete, who has not learned any warrior type classes, does not have any weapons, has nothing to write here. But she wants to make it clear that Pete had a magical implement in his right hand, so she put implement staff in the weapon field. You know, promise they'll protect you, eh? Well, you also gotta remember, our girl Shalika, our beloved, Strip just has a thick Jamaican accent in her dialogue. Evasion 0, yada yada. Oh shit, they drew little characters of Pete and Wolf. Final touches, determine your history, determine the character's name, gender, age, and appearance and personality. Alright guys, you ready for Chapter 2 game rules? They did hijack a lot of real world cultures for the game, but it works. I mean, that's fine. It's good to base your cultures off of something. Classes. Characters in Sword World 2.5 have a wide range of abilities. Some are adept with weapons and armor, while others are skilled in magic. The classes chosen by the character represent their individuality. By learning a variety of classes, a character can also wield a broader net of skills. Try to outdrink Akuna. Oh, I don't drink. I'm the guy in the group that's like, come on guys, alright, you're drunk, let's go home, I'll drive you back. I'm the designated sober driver.
I can threaten all of these motherfuckers and I get away with it. I love this. Playing a Drow Dark Urge is the most fun I think I'll ever have in this game. I can just be a murder hobo and get away with it. It's
There you
fucking
go.
phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll hold up really well in court, actually. It's like, but sir, it wasn't... I didn't mean to. You murdered an entire orphanage of children! But sir, I'm a ball spawn. I literally could not control myself. It was not my actions.
I, I don't know if I want to go like evil or not. Like I kind of want to like ride that line a little bit because I want to get some of these really badass items.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be a rough playthrough.
Well, here's where you can be, Vulcan. You could be a good person, but you know, sometimes people just, you know, they grate on you. Though. Like sometimes it's really get on your fucking nerves, and sometimes you just want to goddamn strangle the life out of them and see the light die in their eyes. But you know, you're still a good person. No.
Oh no!
You,
I
you,
woke
you
up the
don't want to
drunks.
kill people, but if you do kill people, you know, it's a little bit exciting.
It's pretty fun. I can't lie. Being able to just walk in here and be like, "Fuck you! Give me that! Burn in hell! I'm gonna kill you, and you can't do anything about it." It's fucking nice. This is like freedom I don't think I've had in any other
See,
character actually.
now you know why I played Renegade. Because, you know, like, yeah, sure, it's not a good idea to probably punch the fucking bitch reporter, but goddamn is it cathartic.
It is refreshing.
Yeah. You know, like, the Krogan is ranting about how he's gonna bring forth a superior Krogan race, and you just tell him to shut the fuck up and you just shoot a gas canister right under him. That's good. Anyways, class types. Class types are split into the following categories: warrior type, wizard type, and other type. Warrior types wade in battle using weapons. Wizard type classes wield powerful magic, while other type classes offer skills and abilities which complement all kinds of classes on their adventures. Or characters of their adventure. You're off, sir. You don't understand. This isn't a lolly. This is just this is a brownie.
I might need some help here with feeds for my monk.
Okay. I mean, I don't know much about
As
the feats, but...
oh, you know what? This is why I have stream on Discord. So let's hope it doesn't burn your fucking Twitch.
I was gonna say.
I mean, so you just pull up the feats in a different tab.
I'm kind of afraid to pull up the wikis. Anyways, let's see
Right,
what we got
so-
here.
For my monk, my wonderful, beautiful Way of the Shadow monk. Initially, I was thinking ability improvement because getting that +1 to Dex and +1 to Con would be really nice.
Monks
That's
are
4 hit
notoriously
points.
like feat intensive.
Yes, and that's a +4 initiative and then 35 health. That's pretty good at level 4. Because I have 18 Dex and 16 Con. But I was also thinking maybe go Tavern Brawler because then I can get that +1 to Con, which that leaves Dex out, but that's fine. Dex can kind of wait for another few levels.
Okay,
And that
what's
would
Tavern
give
Brawler
me
do?
Tavern Brawler is when you make an unarmed attack, use an improvised weapon or throw something. Your strength modifier is added twice to the damage rolls, which as a negative, I don't think would be beneficial.
Yeah, like improvised weapon fighting is kind of like you gotta build into that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's definitely more of a Karlak thing, and that's what she's getting as her feat because, well, it's fucking Karlak, and I gave her a spear to throw. And there's some other ones. Let me go through here. Alert would be kind of ridiculous. A +5 to initiative would be kind
Jesus.
of crazy. That's a guaranteed. Like even if I roll well, as long as I don't roll a 1, I should be golden. Athlete. When you're a prone standing up. I really don't know. I've not really looked into a lot of the feats. Lucky would be nice for a bard. Because that's just infinite rerolls essentially. I think ability improvement is the best thing I can get for
What's mobile?
right now. Mobile? Your movement speed increases in difficult terrain, doesn't slow you down when you dash. So, and dash is increased by 3 meters. This would be really nice because with Monk, I do have basically all my key abilities are bonus actions, and dash is a main action. So, dash, get my really nice, 30-meter sprint, and then I can just use I have to show you the ability to understand. Use like Fury of Blows, which is 2 attacks. I think it can get upgraded to 3 or 4 later.
Yeah,
But it's
standard monk
1d6
stuff.
plus 3. And there's really good monk gear at the Get the Yankee Crash, so I think I'm gonna hit that like as soon as humanly possible.
Pretty sure everyone just heard the noises, but
other than that, I think
the feats are
ability
really
is-
weird because, I mean, how often do you use weapon? I mean, you got a spear in your back, so.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna try to do is keep using spears for this monk because I've been on a fucking spear thing recently. Like I'm not gonna get into like what's been going on in my real life, but like I've been really enjoying the idea of running a spear.
Spears are
in
cool,
theory,
dude. Love
I could
spears.
get Polearm Master, which
There you
would
go.
give me opportunity attack, but I just think, you know, roll like just ability improvement right now is probably the best thing I can get.
Yeah, because like I said, monks are
weird.
monks.
They're all
I mean,
gear
they need
centered.
strength, dexterity, constitution, and wisdom. Like shit, man.
Well, strength can kind of be forgotten about, at least in Baldur's Gate, which is really lucky. But everything else is kind of like wisdom I need, charisma I kind of need because it's my fucking avatar.
Can you not use your companions?
No, you absolutely can. I just really don't like having to switch between them. I know that's like an ease of access kind of thing, but I just really fucking hate it. Because I know if I had 10 strength and I didn't have the -1, I would probably be pretty fucking good with just melee in general. But
Okay.
then again, I'm not really building builds in Baldur's Gate. I'm just trying to have fun with it now.
Oh yeah, Scale Fist Monk, fuck Wisdom, become Dragon with Charisma.
It is not in Baldur's Gate. The only monks in Baldur's Gate are the like Way of the Four Elements, Open
Shadow
Hand,
Monk, and then Open
Shadow.
Hand. Yeah. Anyways, let's see here. Class grants the necessary skills and abilities for the characters to embody its role. When a character has reached the first level in a class, it means they have acquired the basic skills of that class. Thereafter, the character's class level may increase with experience. This book covers the growth rate for classes of 1st to 6th level, but further growth is possible. Please consult Core Rulebook 2 or later books for more information. Okay. 2 class growth rates. Class level increase by investing experience points. See page 184. Page 184. The 2 growth rates for classes are referred to as major and minor classes. Major classes are powerful but slower to grow. Because of this, major classes are typically the mainstay choice for the character's class and are actively used in combat. Minor classes grow more quickly, but have a narrower set of skills and abilities. By itself, minor classes may have weaknesses or not have any active application during combat. However, such classes are an integral part to any adventuring party. Yeah, Scale Fist is cool. Alright, the highest class level that the character possesses is recorded as their adventure level. This level is used to calculate HP and other character data.
Hawk, I've done it. Karlach's now doing at least 30 damage per throw.
Nice.
I
Alright.
love this.
I like fairies. Well, good news, Kazuki, because there's in fact a it's kind of like a druid, but I can't remember the specific name, but it's basically a nature caster that gets powers from like fairies. Like, alright, today I'm gonna equip the fire fairy and the water fairy, and those are the spell sets I'm gonna cast. Can't remember the name, but basically, I think the best example they gave was Deedlit. Like, Deedlit would have been that class. I think it's like Fae Master or something, I don't know. But anyways, warrior type classes. The fighter, major class. A Fairyman Magic the Gathering deck that fights best when she's asleep. Alright, a warrior who stands on the front line fighting enemies with weapons. Provided that you meet the minimum strength requirement and rank proficiency, see page 151, required. You can wield almost every melee or throw weapon in the game, with no particular limitations on armor or shields. Grappler. This warrior fights with their body, punching and kicking foes as well as other techniques. Although limited to wrestling weapons and severely limited in armor choice, grapplers automatically acquire the combat feat Chain Attack, which gives them the advantage of multiple attacks, aka this is your fucking monk class. The throw wrestling weapon can be used to slam enemies in the ground, further granting the upper hand. You just pick them up and you just chuck them. Fencer, minor warrior type class. Although inferior to fighters and grapplers when comparing raw offense and defense, the Fencer comes with varied attacks and the potential to unleash incredible one-hit damage. The Fencer's strength score is halved, rounding up, to determine which minimum strength requirements they meet when equipping weapons, armor, and shields. However, Fencers benefit from an increased chance of generating critical damage, see page 136, with any weapon they wield. Fencer's higher critical chance comes with the potential to unleash incredible one-hit damage. As a minor class, the Fencer's faster growth rate is another benefit when advancing alongside other classes. So, if you want to be like 3/4 of a like wizard battle mage, the Fencer is for you. You don't get as many weapons, but you're a Fencer, right? You use the light weapons and you get in there and you get the crit. Marksman, minor warrior type class. All ranged attacks, see page 130, may be performed by this class, and shooting attacks, see page 130, are exclusive to the marksman. Unlike other warrior type classes, they cannot evade attacks, making it dangerous to get caught. So all these classes, when you put a level into them, it kind of increases your AC, I believe. Because that makes sense, right? Like, you want your warrior to have as much AC and dodge as possible. Thinking I might want to do that. Yeah, it's sick. Like I said, it's very... Let me pull up a picture of Deedlit with her sword. No, I don't want the Castlevania game. No. Sure, I guess we'll go to Imgur for this. So this is probably what a good example of what a Fencer would use. See, they got the nice thin blade that they go in for the stab. Basically, think Fencer from Etrian Odyssey 5, actually. That's exactly it. Wizard type classes, here we go, boys. Because now we got some magic boys in here. Wizard type classes wield a variety of potential magics. The general term caster is used when describing characters who have learned such classes. You know, the magical swordsman vibes? Oh yeah. Sorcerer, major wizard type class. This caster learns true speech magic. True speech magic is a magic system that can be called traditional, as their spells offer many ways to deal direct damage, and at the same time also have convenient spells such as lighting a magical light. So this is typically like your arcane shit, like your traditional wizard or sorcerer. Conjurer. This caster learns spiritualism magic. Spiritualism spells offer a variety of supportive effects and the ability to manipulate constructs such as dolls for reconnaissance and other useful tasks. And then later in the books, it gets you like summoning golems and necromancy essentially. So this is kind of like your more like healer, summoner. It's basically like I think it was the summoner from Pathfinder, where they summon shit and then the rest of their spells are generally like trying to support and heal Their summons. Priest. Major wizard class. This caster learns divine magic. Through faith, priests heal and mitigate damage, as well as oppose barbarous and undead creatures. When you first become a priest, you would choose a single deity whom you worship, and in turn, they will grant you specialized and thematic spells. Which is busted. Yeah, Sorcerer's kind of crazy on that. We had a free for all day, and 7-bodied everything. Yeah. Artificer, major wizard type class. This caster learns Magitech. They use Magitech spheres, Magispheres, to create useful tools and effects. Artificers are the only class able to use guns, which can deliver damage, healing, and more through the use of bullets, which is capitalized. So this is basically your Technomancer. And Wizards and D&D aren't even that OP. As they're thin as Paperman. You clearly have not played anything of high level D&D where they actually start getting their crazy spells. Because then at some points they can become untouchable. Like, yeah, they're super thin, but what is that when they can just cast like 3 spells a turn? Like, negate that. They're stuck using Magic Missile for a long time. Not really, because Fireball is what, like a 2nd or 3rd level spell? Most people use Magic Missile.
It's a 6th level spell.
It's a 6th level spell? What the fuck?
I think so. Or, no, sorry, it is a 3rd level spell, but you get it at level 6. My bad.
Okay, that's it. But people use Magic Missile for so long because people just like using Magic Missile because it never misses. It goes around corners. Which is why people use it for so long. But anyways, other type classes. The Scout Minor type class. Or Minor other type class. Scouts excel at reconnaissance and investigation. They have a variety of skills that benefit hiding, concealment, searching, and can sense danger and traps. Scouts also uniquely possess the initiative skill, which is essential for your party to be first to act in combat. However, some skills are highly penalized by wearing metal armor. So this is your rogue, basically. And you can put this on any class, by the way, so if you want to be like a cool little like Spellblade, or like a Nightblade, and be like a little thief mage, or fuck it, you could also put it on your fighter. You just have to deal with like the heavy armor penalties for some of the skills, but other than that, it has some good soldier skills. Ranger. Like the Scout, Rangers are useful for reconnaissance and investigation, but the class's capabilities tend to be limited to natural environments. Rangers are uniquely adept at handling and administrating medicinal herbs and potions. With such efficiency, Rangers contribute greatly to the safety of themselves and their party. So they're kind of like the Rogue, but only when it comes to like nature and stuff. But they also get good healing. They have the ability to like do healing shit. Sage, Minor type other class. A Sage's strength lies in all matters where knowledge is concerned. Sages uniquely provide the Monster Knowledge skill, for now, which identifies the characteristics of monsters, as well as how to exploit their weakness. Also, every time a Sage class is advanced, a new language can be learned. Sages may learn to speak or read from any language from the list of languages. So yeah, you could be the smart, like, monster hunter guy.
Hawk, who gets replaced in my party for the next few minutes? Karlach or Shadowheart?
What classes are they?
Karlach is barbarian, fucking missile thrower, and Shadowheart's just melee cleric.
I would probably say Shadowheart.
Understandable.
Because Karlach is like frontline, and Shadowheart's just kind of frontline.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I'm frontline too. Like,
yeah, so you don't need that
these
many
skills
frontlines.
are wild.
Another campaign, I might be a kobold. I may be so bold. Fun fact, you can be a kobold in this game. It's one of the monster races. Skill checks, okay. With the PCs, picking up pebbles and running short distances are possible without the need to consult the dice. But when it comes to trying to lift a large rock or jump over a wide chasm, it is difficult to determine whether or not a PC will succeed. When a PC attempts something, it is the GM that decides if the action requires a check. And then we all know how skill checks work. Although there are some in here that are like, standard value is the number that represents how good a character is at a given skill. Generally is calculated by class level plus abilities modifier. Okay, so like, let me think here. So like this would be like rolling knowledge. Stage level plus intelligence modifier. Just say defeated a witch hunter in a roleplay by sticking mice mages on them. Nice. Can't cast their spells if they can't concentrate. And then, what's this one about adventure level? I think that might be just a general one. Target number, yeah, with success value. Check result. We all know how to roll dice here. Automatic success and failure. Character rolls the dice is double sixes, both 2Ds are 6. Skill check will be an automatic success. If the check of the dice is 2 ones, is an automatic failure. If it's a double sixes, the check is always successful regardless of the presence or absence of standard value, target number, bonuses, or penalties. It's an automatic success. Must have been a very big stroke of luck for that character! Exclamation mark. Straight rolls, see before, can also generate automatic success. Kept swinging lightning bolts at him.
I just forgot to fucking reclass Shadowheart from Trickery to Light Cleric. Sweet mother of God.
This is all. Calculate the success value. 12. Okay, so max success value also number-wise is also +5. And then automatic failure is 0. Oh god, what is this? Oh, this is just the flowchart of like how to roll. Okay. I'm sure we all know how to roll skill checks here. Let's not even get into the funky part. Well, actually, no, they don't need to get in the funky part with like the dice jail, like the dice tables. When to use skill checks? Types of non-standard skill checks. What is this? Tabletop RPGs are games of freedom. Players will try to execute various ideas. Therefore, it is likely that many actions do not fall under any of the standard skill checks on the list. There's something cute and funny about mice thinking spells. Just some armored guy. Hell yeah.
Alright, Hawk, question again.
Yeah.
So I'm reclassing Shadowheart and I'm trying something different. I'm gonna make her a Tempest Cleric because why the fuck not? It'd be fun. Do I do 16 strength or 16 dex? All of her weapons are strength based. She already has 17 wisdom, so I'm not worried about wisdom.
So this is Shadowheart?
Yes, she won't be talking to anyone. She won't be doing any like checks other than like basic perception.
What armor is she wearing?
Medium now. I'm planning to give her the adamantine plate.
That's heavy.
Yes.
Go strength.
And Tempest is the only one with or one of the only ones with heavy armor proficiency as a cleric.
Yeah, I'd go strength.
16 strength it is. Those
'Cause,
flails
I
are gonna
mean,
do a fuck ton of damage.
There comes a point where you wear like heavy, bulky armor that dexterity just doesn't matter to you as much.
See, like I would buff it. I would buff Constitution since dexterity will not be affecting armor class going forward if I give her heavy, which kind of sucks. But fuck it, we ball. But like that +2 to initiative is just that is make or break.
Hmm. Could give her that one that gives her +5 to initiative. That one
No
feat.
ability improvement. I need her. I need her to have ability improvement this early in the game.
Man, the wisdom class guys get shafted. The fucking monks and the clerics, They're so, like, ability score hungry.
Okay, no, with Cleric, I can give her Warcaster, which she gets advantage on saving throws for like concentration spells, which is all of her spells. Or at least as a light cleric. I don't know too much about high level Tempest because I've not gotten Tempest past like level 3 before. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out as we go, I guess. Is Warcaster, I know. Let me look at it again. Yeah, advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration. So, oh, and can also use Shocking Grasp as a reaction to any target moving out of melee range. That'd go really well with Tempest, actually, because it's all lightning damage.
If you go Monk Rogue, you can essentially just be Dex Wisdom. Yeah, that's also just the ninja class. The ninja is its own little special beast. Visibility, poor mobility, okay. Samples of skill check. Wolf wants to perform a skill check to unlock a treasure chest. Skill for opening locks is called Disable Device. It has a standard value of Scout level plus Dexterity modifier. Wolf's Scout level is 1 and his Dexterity modifier is 3, so his standard value is 4. Lock on the treasure chest is a simple one. Used everywhere, so the GM has set target to 9. Normally there's a penalty to disable device checks if the character does not possess scout tools. See page 295. But Wolf does have these tools and thus does not receive a penalty. Wolf rolls twice, hoping for success. The dice results are 1 and 6. Wolf's disabled device standard value is 4, which is added to the sum to make 7. To obtain a successful value of 11. The skill check is successful because success value is greater than or equal to the target number. And there they are, opening the chest. Oh, there's also one here for... If you go Arcane Trickster, you can then cast buffing spells. Get absurd AC, Jesus. My DM is on long hiatus. Oh, that sucks. I'd be like me and give that as an out. If the same disabled device check were performed by Pete the Tabbit, who is without any levels in Scout, check must be performed with a standard value of 0. The success value will be penalized by 4 points since Pete also does not have Scout's tools. Simple math requires a 2d6 result alone to produce 13 or more to reach the same target value number of 9. The only way for Pete to succeed in this disabled device check is to rely on the rare miracle of an automatic success. So Pete couldn't like physically get a roll high enough to get that 9. Tested checks, those are the rolls off, I assume. Yeah. Active versus passive checks. Okay, here we go. Contested checks are sometimes used to determine the winner between those actively attempting to commit an act and those attempting to prevent or evade it. A straightforward example is a confrontation between those attempting to attack and those attempting to evade. Skill check performed in this place is referred to as an active side. Okay, so this is just like... Okay. First, the active side rolls a skill check to obtain a success value. If this is an automatic failure, the active side has failed and the passive side automatically wins. The passive side does not need to roll a skill check in this case. If the active side's result is not an automatic failure, the passive side will need to perform a skill check. Then the passive side's success value is a tie or greater. Passive side is successful. Okay. Ties go to passive side. Examples of skill check contests. Weapon accuracy and evasion. Spellcasting and resistance. Discovery of hidden items and objects. Okay. And then we don't need to read the summary. How to read skill checks. Dexterity-based skill checks. Here we go. Conceal. Just... Yeah, this is just kind of like hide or cover up. Skill issue check. First aid. Okay, experts. For example, a character who is unconscious at -5 HP will apply a penalty of -5. Oh wait, I should probably read the whole thing. Check to awaken a character unconscious from dropping to HP 0 or lower. Target number is 0. But the penalty is the current HP of the character you are trying to awaken. For example, a character who is unconscious at -5 HP will apply a penalty of -5, effectively target number 5. I try to do diplomacy, but that's not effective as a rogue. Well, sometimes it is. Depends on how you build your rogue. Rogues are very diverse with their skill set. Like, if someone were to like roleplay as a diplomat, I'd probably say pick rogue and just have high charisma, because they have so many skills per level that's their big thing. They're skill monkeys. Has a history of stealing. Disable device, pickpocket, skies, accuracy. Act with a weapon, okay. Which is accuracy is warrior type, class level plus dexterity modifier. So warrior should probably have some good dexterity. Set trap, agility is tumble, hide, evasion, acrobatics, initiative, climb, follow. Let's follow. Okay, yeah, this is so it is. Probably work better with charisma than Wiz. Intelligence, track, notice, listen, so all the perceptions, danger sense, insight, search, cartography, meteorology, pathology, literature, engineering, appraise, spellcasting, monster knowledge, herbology, spot trap, vitality, death check. If a character's HP falls to 0 or below, they fall unconscious and become incapable of fighting. When this happens, a death check is rolled. Target number is the same as the character's current HP, without the minus sign, absolute value. For example, if HP is -5, the target number is 5. If successful, the character falls unconscious but is alive. If failure, the character dies. If the case of the automatic success, double sixes, the character's HP is restored to 1 and recovers from an unconscious state. Wicked Spirit is just willpower. Oh, here's one for adventure levels, okay. General skill check that any adventurer can perform. Such checks determine tasks that anyone can attempt, but for which proficiency is difficult and success is uncertain. Detect. A strong suspicion that a person or thing that is disguising... Okay, so this is sense motive. So pretty much sense motive is character level. Jump, adventure level plus agility. I mean, fucking anyone can jump. Anyone can climb, this makes sense. Special classification of skill checks. Sometimes classify special terms because their features, functions, and standard value calculation methods. Okay, packages. The Scout and Ranger classes are involved in a wide variety of skill checks. Sage is also used for many skill checks. In Sword War 2.5, the standard value of a package skills check is basically unified as level plus ability bonus. And the standard value will be the same for all skill checks in which the specified class and ability value are the same. Therefore, it is effective to calculate in advance the combined values of the character's Scout, Ranger, and Sage classes, which are used most frequently, and the character's Dexterity, Agility, and Spirit modifiers to ensure smooth progress of the game. There are 4 packages: technique package, the movement check package, the observation check package, and the knowledge check package. 1 second. Oh, this reading make my throat a little scratchy. Choose dexterity, agility, intelligence. Further classification is added by referring to the class name, such as scout technique package. Oh, they got a nice little diagram here. Scout checks, pickpocket, disguise. The ranger gets first aid, but both all get conceal, disable device, and set trap. At least in natural environments. Okay, so nice little diagrams here. Oh good lord. Tables. Oh, here's a picture of a gargoyle. Combat rules. How long have we been going for? I will give a quick summary. I believe there are 3 different ways of doing combat. Where the first one is like simplified, where there's a front row that's shared between both parties, and then a back row for each side. So it's very much like classic JRPG style. There's really no movement whatsoever. It's just getting in and out of the fields. Can't really hit the back line unless you got a ranged weapon, things like that. And then there's one where it's like played on a line and it measures distance. And then finally there's just standard like D&D Pathfinder as like the advanced combat system. But since this kind of got some people a little bit excited, I'm going to find tactical RPG style. I'm gonna pull up some other rule books so you can guys see some of the cool shit. Let's see here. Rule books? Oh, fuck. Which one was it? I think it was Outlaw Profile Book 2? Okay, so here's the second book. Oop, too close. And yeah, I'd be so down to play this on stream. Yeah, let me pull up, because as we go through more books, they come up with more classes. Let's see, game rules. Where are the classes? Backgrounds. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Fairy Tamer, that was the name of the class. So let's go to like 94. We're all the protagonists. Fairy Tamer. The Fairy Tamer is a class that uses fairy magic. Fairies are beings born from the interference of mana with nature, and they exist everywhere in Rexia. Fairy magic is the art of making a contract with these fairies and having them use their powers in exchange for the caster's mana. Once a Fairy Tamer class is mastered, the caster automatically learns to speak the Sylvan language. Sylvan has no alphabet, and it's not possible to write it down. Fairy Tamers are proficient in the following. Something like that. Restrictions: Rune Folk cannot be them. Lycant fairy magic cannot be used whilst in beast form. Fairy magic conditions to use. If a PC casts fairy magic, movement on their turn is restricted to limited move. So think like 5-foot step. Vocalization. To cast fairy magic, the caster must speak to call out to the fairy. If they cannot speak, they cannot use fairy magic. Nightmares in alternate form can cast fairy magic without speaking. Armor restrictions. While casting fairy magic, a spellcasting check is made at -4 penalty if they're wearing metal armor, so basically druids. Non-metallic armor and shields must be worn or equipped without penalty. Nightmares in their alternate form just don't give a shit. Now here's the key component of the Fairy Tamer. Fairy Tamer's Gem. A gem called a Fairy Tamer's Gem must be equipped as an accessory to cast fairy magic. More expensive Fairy Tamer gems are needed to cast higher level spells. The following is a list of prices that must be paid to purchase Fairy Tamer's Gem. After the more expensive gem is purchased, the less expensive one may be sold at half price. Yeah, hence why I want to be a nightmare. Like, what? I can just get a fucking silent spell? To use Fairy Magic as Fools, the caster must purchase 6 different Fairy Tamer gems. Therefore, please refer to the price per 6 gems in the table. Do they still have to roll dice? What do you mean by that, Kazuki? With the Nightmare in their alternate form, or the Fairy Tamer? Fairy Tamer's gem is treated as an accessory any, and must be equipped in 4 sections in total, one for each section. A gem case is an accessory that combines 4 gems into a single piece of equipment, which can be worn in any section. Okay. Basic fairy magic in 6 types. And jail into taking any action. Yeah, I mean, like, if you want to attack somebody. But I think it's a bit more of, like, you can just do things. So, like, for example, you don't need to persuade anybody. Or roll to persuade. Basic magic that all Fairy Tamers can use, up to the same level as the Fairy Tamer class. Typed Fairy Magic. The player needs to choose 4 of the 6 typed magic systems. The player may use spells of those types up to the same level as the Fairy Tamer class. The remaining 2 types cannot be used all. If I remember right, most classes you just get the spells when you reach that level. So when you're like a 4th level Fairy Tamer, you just learn 4th level fairy spells. You don't have to like spend money to write them down in a book or shit. Okay, so let's see here. Each day at 6 AM, the user of fairy magic may select 4 types of typed fairy magic. Summoning and using fairies. Fairy Tamer can summon and use fairies by casting the Summon Fairy Z, where Z is the Roman numeral basic fairy magic spell. A fairy that can be summoned must match one of the 4 types selected for the day by the caster. Probably roleplay more than anything. Oh, I love me some roleplay. Phrasing. Rules for the use of fairies. A summoned fairy is handled using the same rules as found under the Obey command on page 90, which we skipped, when used when a summoner commands a golem or undead. Instructions to fairies may be made only once per round. Anyways. But yeah, so pretty much what the 6 types of magic are the elements. So like fire, water, wind, earth, light, and dark. And you can pick 4 of those per day, and you can cast from those spells. Then there's the Enhancer class. So this is very like monk-ish. So like you use like your body's like residual like magic, like pseudo kind of like magical key energy bullshit to like increase yourself. So like you can give yourself like iron skin, or you can enhance your speed. It's very like Hunter x Hunter anime-esque. Oh yeah, techniques are special breathing effects. Homon. Yeah, so like they gave themselves like magical spirit wings. The Bard. And I kind of touched on this one a little before explaining like combat. Bards can play musical instruments, sing songs, and produce various supportive or hindering effects on nearby listeners. Which, by the way, it's a minor type class. Performance checks, spell songs, are a special type of music and song used by bards to have various psychic effects on those who hear them. There are several types, and bards of higher levels can use them differently depending on situations. As a rule, spell songs are of the psychic type. Makes sense, that's the basic same morale. Finales. Finales are special performances used when certain conditions are met by a spell song. They allow the performer to create direct attack or recovery effects that cannot be created by a spell song. So it's probably like alright, I've been playing my songs, I built up my resources, now I'm gonna do a little flourish and do like an actual spell. Let's see here. Rhythm is generated when performing spell songs. Accumulating it to a specific value creates the conditions for a playing finale. Also, some spell songs are only effective if there is accumulation of rhythm. There are 3 types of rhythm: uplifting, calming, and enchanting. And each spell song generates a different amount of these. Let's see here. I'm just gonna go through the rest of the classes here real fast. Because let me tell you, some of them have their own chapters. Writers. Wait, what was that about pets? Some bards are skilled enough to charm various animals to follow them, who can assist in the bard's performances. So you could get like a little frog on your head and you can teach it to croak with you to the beat. That's kind of cool. Is that all of the classes? Because there are quite a few more classes I can get into here. If I can... Let's see here. Yeah, those are that's the monster index. Abyss Curse. Let's see here. There is also a there is another type of magic where if you get like if you level sorcerer and spiritualist at the same time, because they're kind of the same in terms of like origins, you'll get like a 3rd type of magic that you can unlock. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go to this. Let's go to the 3rd book, because I believe there's also some classes in there as well. Let's see here. Okay.
I just made garlic bread at midnight.
Nice. Where is...
Yep, just fucking fried it on a pan because it's just easy.
Oh yeah. So is it... I know there's more classes than this. Okay, here we go. Where is it? 84. You guys just want to ride motorcycles in a battle? Rider, other type minor class. A class can control mounts of various types. Those PCs with a rider class levels are colloquially known as jockeys. With the rider class, the following checks are possible, yada yada. And it's a whole thing. But they're also like Sage in the fact that they can identify monsters. They get bonuses to it. Because, I mean, you learn to ride monsters, right? And they don't like, there's this whole thing about riders, but they don't specify what your mount is. So if you want your mount to be like a special monster, or like this fucking guy right here, and be Cloud Strife on his motorbike, you totally could. Or if you just like have a special like monster you've bonded with. Let's see here. Where is the next class? Like, there's so much fucking shit here about Rider. I mean, there's like a whole thing, like, if you keep killing your mounts, no one's gonna give you a mount. It's still going. Alchemist class, an evocation. Other type class, so it's not a caster class. Some people have a strange ability to process and synthesize items out of basic materials, as well as create evocations from magically infused cards. These people are called alchemists. Their material cards are made from prima materia, an essential element of various substances. You speak and read Magitech. Alchemists use these spells to produce various effects. They're learned as their class level increases. Many effects produce support spells and weaken enemies. However, none directly inflict heavy damage on enemies. Evocations are not magical, as they are not sensed by sense magic and cannot be removed by dispel magic or similar effects. However, evocations can be cancelled by word break or perfect cancellation. The evocation with area shot targeting is effective in preventing stray shots, and Hawkeye allows the user to target an evocation while ignoring character or skirmish shielding. So, it's basically precise shot. But so basically what this class does is think like Dragon Quest, where you can harvest materials. So like meat and bone go into red cards, plants and stuff go into green cards, and you can take these materials and form them into cards that you can then play, and they'll do a special effect. So very cool. And then there's other classes, like there's one book that shows the Battle Dancer, which is very much dance-oriented, combat feat focused type cast or fighter. There's I mentioned before, there's like a demon summoner, like a demon tamer class. What else is there? There's kind of like a battlefield leader where they'll like inspire their allies and they'll use tactics, build up using those tactics, and then do like some kind of like inspiring war cry thing to buff the party.
Hawk, are you just reading out classes?
I'm giving generalizations. But some of them.
So I'm not gonna lie, it's felt like a fever dream for the past hour. Listening to classes being read out.
There's a lot here. But let me... Vagrants... Oh, go ahead.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm just amazed you're getting viewers for this.
Dude, it's fucking Sword World. It's Japanese D&D. This is like... I mean... It sucks that it's not over here in the West, but it's a good alternative.
It's not mainstream is what I'm getting at.
Kind of. It's mainstream in Japan.
Ah, yes, the corner of the world that only the US has somehow managed to tame.
Yeah, but it's also... It's very interesting with how they do classes. Because, you know, most like tabletop RPGs are probably like D&D, right? Like, okay, you got enough experience points. Pick a class level. There's a lot of customization in this game.
You know what, Hawk? I will look into tabletop games when I finally do my trip to Japan. Because it's gonna happen.
Oh yeah, dude. Wild over there.
I have fucking heterochromia. I need to go.
Oh fuck. I forgot about the other base races.
Another 3 hours of reading later.
Where are they? Okay, that's backgrounds. Is it? Which one is it? It's a Weep's Wet Dream. Okay, let's see here. Oh, this index is not exactly good sometimes. Additional character data. Where are the select race and background? Like, is it that one? I don't know. Maybe let's go like 11. Okay, here we go. We got some other races there. So it's additional character data, so. with a little scrolling. Alright, we got the Lil Draken, which is big old dragon boys with wings. Through them. We got the Grass Runner, which is just basically the anime halfling. Who, funny enough, despite the fact that they're shit at strength, cannot cast spells. The little halflings. We got the Maria Fey Touched, and there's two types. There's the ones that are super chill and calm that live for fucking ever. And then you got the hyper anime ones here that live for like 15 years and then they die. Little Draken again. Grass Runner. Was that just the 3? Was it the 4? Yep. And then over here we got the Tiens, which kind of have like they're humans that kind of have like crystals in them, I believe. Scrolling. We got the Leprechauns, which are like halflings, like little fluffy ears that can turn invisible. What are the drag thing skills? Let me look. Area, Grass Runner, was that it? Scaly Hide, they get +1 to defense. Tail Whip, possesses the wrestling weapon tail. Swords Grace, Wings of the Wind. A little dragon may spread its wings and take flight, flying for 1 minute, 6 rounds each day. While flying, a little dragon receives +1 for accuracy and evasion. Movement speed remains the same whether flying forward or ascending. However, you cannot perform a full move action while flying. In addition, they may carry additional weight up to a maximum of 200 kilograms, which may be equipment, supplies, or another PC. I should look at the Grass Runners because their thing is weird. Mana Interference. Grass Runners do not have and cannot gain MP, even if a class or ability would otherwise do so. Mako Stones may still be used, which is just like ball of mana, crush it. Use mana from that. However, if a Grass Runner succeeds a willpower check against a spell, they will be completely unaffected, treating it as if they resist negate. Grass Runners can understand plants and animals to a small degree. While this does not mean entire conversation can be held, Grass Runner can pick up subtle expressions. Yeah.
Oh god damn it, that little ball spawn motherfuckers floating around in my dreams now.
So they make good tanks. I suppose so. Let's see. Where is the new races released? Oh god. There's so much on this one book. Okay, let's see here. Where are the new races? New race description. There it goes. 124. 24. Alright, you guys want to learn some new races? We got the Alv. Look at that black sclera. Look how sexy that is. According to legend, elves were once vampires who were guided by the guiding star Harula, allowing them to exist. Vampires, also known as Nosferatu, are one of the Barbados tribes that sustain their lives and reproduce by sucking blood. The reason why elves are believed to have been vampires originally is because they live off other beings. While no one can confirm this, it is fact that elves cannot survive without relying on others. They draw mana from other creatures at least once a week, otherwise become severely weakened and gradually lose the ability to function. After 2 weeks, the elf will die of exhaustion. Furthermore, elves cannot absorb mana from each other. However, their mana-sucking nature and appearance often cause problems. Many elves have skin as white as wax, jet black eyes, and shiny gold or red irises. Everything else does that by eating. Yeah. Now I'm just thinking of like some like dirty things with like your elf girlfriend. Like, babe, it's been 2 weeks, I'm hungry. Alright, unzips pants. And suck the mana through there. Actual mana transfer from Fate. Yeah, so we got the elves. We got weaklings Barbados. So weaklings, sometimes referred to as bean sprouts, are a mutation of Barbarous. They are born without the soul scars that Barbarous should have, making them physically inferior and despised by Barbarous society. Weaklings can be born from any Barbarous race and will have a human-like appearance with some characteristics of their parents' race. If born a Gerudo, they have small feathery wings on their back. So let's see here. Does it say exactly? Okay. I can just go through these. Tana's weaklings are often beautiful in the humanoid sense of the word and indistinguishable from humans except for their right arm. The right arm inherits its features of their parents and is exoskeletal from the elbow onward. Basilisk weaklings are characterized by their eyes, which are strongly visible. The evil eye of the basilisk, which has a petrifying spell, appears in only one eye, and its size differs from one side to the other. The evil eye is larger and... oh, Jesus. And then, what else is there? There are more. Minotaur's horns are large and on either side of their head. They also have short, hairy tails. They never reach adulthood and die due to their frailty and the persecution.
Alrighty, I think I'm gonna head off for the night.
Alrighty, man, take care.
Peace.
A shadow humanoid. Shadows are a race that primarily inhabit the continent of Railsdon, located to the west of the continent of Alfram. They are rarely seen on the Alfram continent, although sometimes they appear as adventurers or wanderers who have drifted ashore. Their stature is similar to humans, but their skin color is grayish-brown. Their builds are generally lean and muscular. Masculinity, however, does not mean that they have muscularity. They have lean bodies, steel-like toughness, and whip-like suppleness. Appearance is the third eye on their head that resides on their forehead. 3 eyes, whose pupils resemble those of a cat, change size according to the intensity of the light. Kinda wish they gave like the stats for them, but hello. What race is this? Soleil? They are said to be a race born with the blessing of the sun god Tidan. And although few in number, they have existed for a long time. Soleil are extremely muscular, both men and women, and are large in stature. Males tend to have thicker muscles, while females tend to have more flexible muscles, but ultimately it all depends on how they were trained. The average height for men is 190 centimeters and 170 centimeters for women. It is not uncommon for men to be over 200 centimeters and women to reach 190 centimeters in height. Skin color varies from white to brown, often tanned brown, because of their admiration for the sun. And basically their whole thing is they're solar powered. Oh, here we go. Elves get Spirit Drain. Elves can use a major action to take mana from a target. From a touch. This tree has resistance can't without requiring check. MP reduction cannot be mitigated. Okay, so we got here a Gerudo, a weakling. Very nice. Okay, so that's what they're referring to with the arm. The Tanaz. He does get a cool, like, devil arm. And what's this one? the basilisk with the eye. And then we got a cute minotaur girl there. And then each of these obviously all have like their own like racial abilities and stuff. The shadow +4 to willpower. Okay. And at 6th level reduces physical and magical damage from poison, disease, and curse types by 3. Soleil makes their bodies glow with minor action, blinding or disorienting those nearby. By exposing themselves to sunlight for 10 minutes, they're able to recover 10 HP. This effect can be used every 10 minutes for up to a total of 1 hour for a total of 60 HP. From 6 AM to just before 6 PM, the Soleil will receive a +4 bonus to fortitude and will checks, whether indoors or out. However, between 6 PM and just before 6 AM, they receive a -4. But yeah, chat. And we've only... I gave it a little taste of what everything is like. You know, we went over some of the crazy races and some of the classes. We didn't go over all the races, by the way. There's still more. And I remember specifically because there is one race that is a small race. I will play on one condition. What's that, Lexicon? But it's a small race, and once per day they can just become large-sized. Which is above human. It's crazy. There is a female Soleil or Shadow NPC. I can arrange that. I've had a very good track record of my NPC companions. Or like NPC like characters. The attack values you see in entering Odyssey don't affect damage on stats you see on the side. Dude, what? But yeah, so we only scratched the surface. We didn't really get too much into the rules after 2.5 hours. And so I gave a little taste of all the races, or most of the races, and most of the classes. Like, there's also an actual druid class, which is more of summoning, like, the spirit of plants and animals to fight. There's a... Oh, what do they call them? But basically, it kind of uses, like, yin and yang. And a little bit of, like, QI spiritualism to do, like, random effects during battle. It's basically a gambler class. And you take all of these together, and you can mix and match them as much as you want. You can see how crazy it can be just building your character. Right, like, pretty much everybody could pick, like... Let's say everyone picks, like, Priest, right? Like, we're going on a Holy Crusade. But other than putting points in Priest, everyone can be different. One could put points and levels into a Brawler, and there could be a Holy fucking Fist. Another could be, like, fucking Ezio, putting points in the Scout. And it gets crazy. Which is why I like it. Well, anyways, chat, I think that's going to be it for tonight. And I put a link to all these resources because they're free translated stuff in the chat. I will post it again, and I have it pinned in the Discord in the tabletop section. So you can download all this cool shit. You know, it's got all these rule books for all these classes. It's got some replays. And for those that don't know what that is, it's basically like they novelize people playing together. So you can see what some people do. And I can also post a channel who I think is like the actual people that are working on the translation. I can post that later too. So there's all these cool resources. And it's just a cool game. It's just a lot for me to read if I want to run a fucking game. Oh yeah, and then the resources also have like actual campaigns you can look at. Some of them you can play by yourself too. Like, it's just kind of like, okay, I do this, or I choose this option, and then it keeps going. It's super cool. Yeah. thank you so much for everyone that stopped by to watch. I know a lot of people want to get this game kind of in more public awareness, and it's so cool. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and with that, take care, everybody. I gotta go into work tomorrow at last minute, but I said fuck it. I'm streaming anyways. So take care, everybody. This was fun. Everyone's gonna know he does when you hear this. He's gonna take the frying pan to somebody.
I will find the cast iron.
Pan heard across the world.
You guys will one day just feel a slight reverberation and maybe just the faintest sound of a cast iron hitting somebody.
Yeah,
and you'll be like, today's the day.
off in the distance. Or it's gonna be like that one bit in SpongeBob. You're gonna hit someone with a pan. All of a sudden, you know, I'm gonna be at work. It's like, Hawk, what's wrong? I don't know. I felt a disturbance. I need